My name is Seon Yun, 18 years old. I attended Von Steuben High School, but currently a dropout.
My life's terrorized and I'm feeling so trapped. I need to find my way out, find the right path. My heart is caged and my mind's in the blur. I'm just trying to find some guidance, so for now I'm screaming, yo!
I come from a big family, 5 brothers and 2 sisters, and I am the youngest. Growing up, I guess I've always been a shy kid, and I never really expressed myself. And then with school, I didn't really have much friends, but I always had my close friends. When high school started, all my childhood friends went to different schools like Lane Tech or Amundsen or Sen, and I went to Von Steuben by myself. And it just, I was completely like, I guess scared for my friends and family. I'd say none of my family really knew what's going on with me. Like, they just think like, oh, that's just how he is. He's always in his room playing game or whatever. He doesn't want to do anything, because that's how, you know, they saw me as since I was a kid. And then with my friends, a lot of them are just like, oh, maybe he just doesn't feel like hanging out, or oh, he probably doesn't want to be bothered, so we'll just let him be. And then a few other of my friends will always be like, what's going on with you? You know, you seem like something's really bothering you. And then sometimes I'll talk with them about it, and sometimes I'll just be like, oh, nothing's wrong, I'm just really tired, I don't feel like doing anything.
For 3 words to describe Seon, I would say struggle, caring, and loyal. I think a significant change for Seon from elementary school to high school has been that in elementary school there was just a more carefree attitude, and things were kind of a little bit more easygoing for him. As he got into high school, things changed drastically, where there was a lot of struggles, and I think a lot of emotions set in, and there was just a way down, and his mood and personality changed quite drastically. He went from this carefree kid to walking around with this big boulder on his shoulder, and that was kind of tough for me to see, and it was miles apart from the first impression that I knew.
Seon has changed from elementary to high school by not concentrating in his schoolwork as much when he was younger. He started not attending classes when he's in high school. His way of concentrating in school decreased.
Seon at his best, he's positive. You know, he's like a pocket full of sunshine, you might say. You know, because he's always cracking jokes, and he's just, you know, having a good time, always making people smile and laugh. But Seon, I wouldn't say at his worst, but when he's down, you know, is the total opposite. You know, it's like he's a totally different Seon. You know, he's not as cheerful as you might say. You know, and you could tell immediately when, you know, he's at his worst. You know, you just don't see him like as you want him to be. You know, and sometimes it's frustrating because, you know, things can be a little bit more simple, but, you know, when he's at his worst, like, it's really hard to convince him to do anything else.
I think when Seon is his best, his voice is loud. I mean, it comes through in his music, it comes through in his relationships, that his voice is strong, and he's like a pillar that people can use for support, and he has a lot to say, and when he does say it, it's very powerful. But when he's at his weakest, he is very insecure about himself, and it just seems like he gets weighed down, that anything that he does isn't right. And it's kind of a weird dichotomy and a weird split. It's kind of like, it's definitely night and day in terms of the two personalities when he's at his best and he's at his worst. There are a lot of times where I noticed that Seon was depressed. I think when he's depressed, he's very withdrawn from relationships. He would also disappear from coming to MCYP and being part and interacting with relationships. He definitely made it intentional. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but there was definitely a separation between the people that cared about him and what he, where his comfort zones were, and it always seems like that at those times you could find him sleeping at his house or in his room by himself and really not engaging his peers, the people at MCYP, the community at large, and even sometimes his family. So it was definitely you knew when he was depressed and that he was having some internal problems and internal struggles there. So it was very, very clear most times.
I was mostly down, mostly because of, I guess, the relationship I was in. And then when I was failing school, that just made it even worse for me. Because of what I went through in the relationship, I didn't want to do anything. So when I didn't want to do anything, I obviously didn't do anything in school, and that led to me failing even worse. Not turning in homework, not showing up. Like sometimes I won't even go to school for like a month or two straight, just because I was a sophomore still, from sophomore to now, to when I'm supposed to be a senior. But junior year, I hit this point where I felt like I was just a waste of life. So like around November, I think, I tried to kill myself and overdosed on Tylenol, probably like 6-10 pills. And I didn't even just do this on one night, I did it like 3 nights in a row. I didn't want to go to school already, and that made me not want to go even more, because I felt like, what if I do just die? What if I do just pass out like in the middle of school? I don't want that to happen. I don't want to just like walk down the hallways and pass out and everybody just like, what the hell's going on? So I stayed in my room, cooped up. I didn't really eat, probably like once a day or every other day or something. I literally felt like everyone's life would be better if I was just gone, because I felt like a waste of space, or a waste for a person, a waste as a person.
He asks a lot of questions, so he doesn't seem to know how to answer it, so he's always concerning things about so many things. He asks a lot of why, so he should improve by, instead of always asking why, just go for it.
Right now, for Sam to get back on track, I think like he needs a goal. You know, everybody needs a goal. You know, what you want to do next. You know, like start with some like short-term goals. You know, maybe just, you know, finishing school or getting his degree, and then go for long-term, like in terms of career. You know, you just need to do something. You know, always strive for something. You know, that's what living is.
I think the times where I've seen Seon the happiest is when he creates, when he uses his voice, when he has an outlet for expression. And I think that he needs to take that opportunity to carve out that space for himself and be intentional about carving out that space for himself. Allow himself to create and say, this is my time to create, this is the priority. And that's when his voice really comes out very strong.
What makes me happy is when most of my friends and family are happy. and also my music, because definitely when I express myself, I feel free.